Hello, everyone. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back to the Age Podcast. I'm Chris, and today's conversation is real, honest, and one that many people don't talk about enough, especially leaders. This episode is about emotional understanding, not just in the workplace, not just in the military, but in the one place where emotional control is the hardest, I feel, at home. Now, listen, I've been under extreme pressure. I've been shot at. I've dealt with IEDs. I've led soldiers in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and where rocket attacks were a daily occurrence, and where rounds cracked overhead and chaos erupted in seconds. And you know what? I was calm. Absolutely calm. Focused, clear, at the time smoking a cigarette, telling the lads to get their heads down. No panic. No raised voices. No loss of control. Everyone walked away uninjured that day. But last week, I walked into my house after work. My kids were loud, hyped up, buzzing from a full day of rules, structure, and school. And I snapped. Not physically, not aggressive, but shouting. And afterwards, I sat there thinking, how can I be completely calm under fire all those years ago, but lose my patience over noise in my own home? That's what this episode's about. This is real leadership. This is self-awareness. This is growing as a father, a husband, and a man. Now let's get into it. People have this conception that combat is the ultimate stress environment. But here's the truth. Combat, it's structured chaos. Family life is unstructured chaos. There's a massive difference. In Iraq and Afghanistan, you know your role on operations. You trust your team. You've got standard operating procedures. There's a mission. There's a chain of command. Your training kicks in. You detach emotionally. Research backs this up. Under acute threat, the brain switches to automaticity, acting on trained behaviours. Leach 2016. At home, there's no drills, there's no SOPs, there's no section commander telling you to remain calm. There's no defined enemy. It's just emotions, needs, noise, mess, chaos that hits you personally. So your brain doesn't enter automaticity, it enters reaction mode. And unfortunately, in reaction mode, we say things we don't mean. We escalate instead of leading. We forget that perspective. And this is why parenting can feel harder than deployments. So let's talk about what actually happened. So I got home, there was a long day, brain still in operational mode, phone still buzzing, work thoughts still swirling through my head, and I walked in just wanting quiet. But what I got was kids being kids. Loud, excited, releasing their pressure of a full day of rules, and I snapped. Again, not physically, but I shouted. And the second it happened, I felt it in my chest. Because I wasn't leading in that moment, I was reacting. And that's not who I want to be, not as a father, not as a husband, and not as a leader. It wasn't the noise, it wasn't the behaviour, it was me. I hadn't transitioned from work mode to home mode. A lesson I thought I'd mastered years ago. This is the emotional centre of the episode here. When I was serving, my wife said to me, I just want you present. Not perfect, not performing, not problem solving, Chris, just present and in the moment. And the moment she said it to me, it stuck with me forever. Because presence isn't passive, it's leadership. Fast forward to a couple of months ago when I heard something that landed perfectly. A.D. Harper from AH Coaching and Training.com said this one line in a talk. Walk in from work, phone down, be there for people. That hit me hard. It hit me like a hammer. I've been working hard on that though. I walk in now, phone down, reset, present. Since doing it, I feel a little bit calmer. Home feels calmer. I feel calmer. Leadership starts at home, and home leadership starts with presence. So let's talk parenting. I believe one thing. Children thrive on discipline, not punishment, not shouting, not fear. Discipline, structure, boundaries, consistency, and routine. Because everything else falls into place after that. Kids don't need a sergeant major, but they do need a guide. They need a leader. Someone who sets the emotional tone for the room in the house. Shouting doesn't create discipline. Your behaviour does. Your structure does. Your presence does. Let's break down the science and psychology of that. Leaders often lose emotional control at home because the stakes feel higher. These are your people, your heart is invested. You drop your guard at home, your brain relaxes and means emotions hit harder. There's no decompression window. You go from high structure to zero instantly. That shift for me was brutal. There's no mission clarity. Work gives you KPIs, SOPs, and direction. Family life is messy and unpredictable. And you feel emotionally safe, so you react emotionally. It's weird, but you snap where you feel safest. Knowing this, however, is powerful. It means the issue isn't your character, it's your transition. Here's what I've been working on. Real practical, easy steps. The 5-minute reset. Sit in the car, breathe, detach from work. Phone down immediately. Presence isn't possible with distraction. Tactical breathing, 4x4 breathing. Google it. Calms the nervous system. Lowering my voice intentionally. If I speak softer, they regulate softer. And understanding kids' behaviour. They're not being naughty. They're releasing just and learning in that way. And choosing response over reaction creates a better climate. Am I perfect? No. Am I improving? I'm trying to. I want to end this a personal message to my wife, my kids, my family, my closest friends. I'm learning. I'm trying. And I'm getting better every day, I think. I'm not the lad I was at 20. I'm not the soldier I was at 35. But I'm becoming the man I want to be at 43. That rhymes. That's awesome. Because leadership doesn't stop when the uniform comes off. It begins at home. Thanks for joining me on this short episode of the Age podcast. If anything resonated, if you want to hear more, if you've ever felt calmer in chaos than at home, if you've struggled with emotional control, you're not alone. And you're not failing. You're just human. Let's grow together. Head over to cwcage.com for blogs, resources, free mentoringship. Ping me an email at chris@cwcage.com and hit me up on YouTube at cwcage.com. As always, keep your presence, keep your purpose. Sorry that this is short, but I'm trying to keep these little ones bite-sized for the meantime, so I can gather a bit more of an audience to see what people want to hear and to listen to. So please reach out. Keep your age.